I don't know whether they have killed him. We wrote them a letter as usual. When they are Nigerians, I don't know whether they have killed him. Because if somebody who is facing a criminal trial cannot have access to his lawyers, then people should ask questions. I'm making this video here in my house to tell you people that we are able to see Nnamdi Kanu. That's the position now.
Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Umibo, where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Where is our supreme leader? Onyendu Ohamadike 1 of Biafra land. Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Just last week, Bello Tunji ordered that community to vacate. That same community where that Sokoto prison day. Bello Tunji, the bandit leader, has ordered that community to vacate, and they are living already. It's sure they have moved out of that community. That same community where the prison day, you can make your inquiries. Now the same community, Bello Tunji, the bandit leader, the Boko Haram leader, told the community members to vacate immediately, and all of them, they run. And you and I know that there is no way the government will take all the prisoners in that Sokoto. Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? The other time I brought one intelligent information that those guys exposed that they were beating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now so some of them there for comment section they do fake news. Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Anna Majunu, where is our brother? Where is Onyendu Ohamadike 1? Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? This thing is getting out of hand, seriously. You told someone that he has right to appeal. Then you went ahead to ban the person from having access to device. Be it phone or laptop or typing machine or any gadgetic device that Omotosho instructed them not to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu access to any device. What kind of wicked man is this? What kind of wicked man is this? Now you are restricting people from seeing him. How do you want the person to appeal? How? And the same you, Omotosho, gave strict instruction that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be taken to Sokoto. What is your mission? Omotosho, what is your mission? What is really going on? Are these people playing? What is really going on? Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? This thing is getting out of hand. It is seriously getting out of hand. And something should be done about this thing. Before they jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I still remember when I asked this question that if Nigeria government jails Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what will you do? Some of you be doing my attack in the comment section. Some of you be doing see God forbid. Now but my prayer no man walk. Now they have jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Keifani mere. What did we do? Now their plan now waka ememi nazie Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There was this woman, I've posted the video too. She narrated what she went through because she went to Sokoto to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some even got angry and left there. Where is our supreme leader? Yeah, they messy like this. What kind of wicked and heartless people is this thing now? These people know that they don't like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Taking him to that Sokoto prison, by target, call people at the end of the day. Tunji go for the community, the same community as that prison day. Tunji si go hap bang. Call people haga where Boko Haram bakasi everywhere. They will not come and tell us that and the Boko Haram made the prison attack. Na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We should start doing something. Yeah, humans, I don't understand what is really going on. All these big people everywhere. As in, I don't understand. And they're waiting for Nigeria politicians who you know that they are not ready to act. Where is our supreme leader? Where is our leader? Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Yeah, this thing is getting out of hand though.
Can somebody please borrow me a word that I will use to qualify Nigeria? Because honestly speaking, after listening to this news I'm about to play for you now, after I listened to it, I sat down and I wept. Not only that I wept, I began to ask myself, are you sure that Nigeria is a country where human beings are living? Or is it a country where other lower animals are living? Which one is it, I ask? Because this news is indeed a sad and disheartening news, honestly speaking. Today is the 26th day of February 2026, and we've received a news that some guys traveling from Kanu to Sokoto Correctional Center to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those guys were arrested, detained, extorted, and left stranded by the Nigerian Immigration Service. Yes, you heard me right. They were first arrested, they were detained for hours, and they were extorted, they collected their money, and they left them stranded by the Nigerian Immigration Service. What a sad news. What a sad news. All because they are going to see or visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto Correctional Center. Oh, what a pity. Igbo people, Biafrans, I pity una. It's so unfortunate. Now, let's get down to the news and see what happened. According to this news, as you can see, this news was posted yesterday, being the 25th day of February 2026 by, this time. Now, it says, Nigerian immigration officers arrest, extort money from youths traveling to visit Nnamdi Kanu, dump them in Zamfara. They arrested them, they extorted them, and they went and dumped them in Zamfara state. All right, let's see. 3 Nigerian youths traveling from Kanu to Sokoto to visit the detained indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have accused officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service of arresting, detaining, and extorting money from them before abandoning them stranded in Zamfara state. Did you hear that? All right. A source familiar with the incident told Sahara reporters that the travelers were intercepted and held for about 7 hours during the journey. A source familiar with the incident told Sahara reporters that the travelers were intercepted and held for about 7 hours during the journey. All right. On our way to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto, we were arrested and detained here for 7 hours, extorted and left us stranded in Zamfara state by Nigerian immigration, the source said. So the people, the young guys, actually spoke from their mouth what happened. Now let's see. We're going to see how much they collected from them and where exactly they dumped them in Zamfara state. A video obtained by Sahara reporters captured moments showing the 3 youths during their detention by immigration officials. Speaking during an executive interview with Sahara reporters, one of the victims, who identified himself as Cruz Niger, narrated how the incident unfolded on Sunday. All right, on Sunday, while traveling from Kanu to Sokoto to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we were stopped by immigration officers at the entrance of Zamfara state. After searching our vehicle, they asked me and my colleague, the shadow dancer, all right, to step down, he said. According to him, the officers accused them of attempting to travel illegally to Libya, despite their explanation that they were heading to Sokoto. You get? So this news simply means that as they were about to enter Zamfara state, these immigration officers stopped them and, after searching their vehicle, they started accusing them. Oh, so you are those people that are traveling from here to Libya. And then the young guy said, no, we are not traveling to Libya. We are only going to Sokoto to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All right. So they took time to explain to them that they are heading to Sokoto. All right. Let's see what happened. They accused us of attempting to travel to Libya. We firmly denied this allegation and explained that we were simply on our way to Sokoto. Despite this, they searched our bags and thoroughly examined our phones, he said. After searching their vehicles, they searched their bags and, started searching their phones. He added that the situation escalated after officers allegedly discovered photographs of him with activist and politician Omoyere Sowore and other activists on his phone. He said the situation got worse when these officers saw a photo of him and Sowore and some other activists that they said, oh, so you are one of them. You are one of them. But tell me, why will they be searching their phone? Why will they be searching their phone? But then, let's see what happened next. All right? He said, during the search of my phone, they saw photographs of me with Omoyere Sowore and other Nigerian activists. From that moment, they concluded that I am an activist. They immediately seized my phone and refused to allow me access to it, he said. Immediately they saw Sowore and the picture of him and Sowore and some other activists, they seized his phone and say, Oga, we are not going to give you this phone again. The victim alleged that repeated pleas to contact family members or associates were ignored by the officers. They were begging them, please give me my phone, let me call my friends and my family members, let me tell them where I am. But the officer say, lie, lie, we are not going to give you. I pleaded with them to let me make calls so that people would know my whereabouts, but they refused. Instead, they repeatedly warned us about how dangerous the area was, he added. You can imagine. They were telling them, please give me my phone, let me call people and tell them where I am or allow me to go. They said, lie, we're not going to give you. And know that here you are is very dangerous. You can imagine. You can imagine what is happening in Nigeria. Oh, what a pity. He further claimed that the officers demanded large sums of money before allowing them to proceed with their journey. They started asking for money. We were taken into a room where we met 5 other people, 2 young girls and 3 men. The officers told us that if we wanted to continue our journey, we would have to pay 200,000 plus 30,000 for transportation to Sokoto, he said. You can imagine. You don't enter for money now. The officer started demanding money that they have to pay 200,000 and 30,000. That is 230,000 before they let them go. What is their offense? Just because they want to go and visit Mazen Kanu. Please stay with me. He went further to say, according to him, after prolonged argument, the officers allegedly reduced the demand to 50,000, which the travelers still could not afford. From 200,000, they have gone down to 50,000. Negotiation. Oh my goodness. What a country. What a country. Now, he went further to say, they continue threatening us, saying bandits would attack any moment and that the area was unsafe, he said. They were threatening them, telling them, if you are here, bandits will attack anytime, and if they attack, you're on your own. All right? He also alleged that 2 young female travelers paid 230,000 after pressure from the officers. Of course, they were there, and the officers caught 2 other young ladies and pressured them. And those girls, maybe out of fear, out of hurry, out of anything, they paid the sum of 230,000 before they allowed them to go. I tried to advise them to reconsider. The officers immediately shut me down and warned me not to speak to them. One officer stated that all they care about was collecting their money and that whatever happened to the girls afterward was none of their concern, he alleged. Of course, and just to collect my money, any other thing that happens to you is none of my concern. But these are people who are meant, at least their primary purpose is to, protect the lives and properties of the people. The victims claimed that the officers later arranged for a truck to transport the girls onward. Of course, they arranged a truck to transport the girls. Eventually, after continued pressure, the youths said a point of sale POS operator was brought in and they transferred 30,000 before being allowed to leave. From 200,000, it has gotten down to 30,000. And the guy said that was what they transferred. POS, right? Shockingly, shortly after leaving the checkpoint, the driver stopped and claimed he had only been given 3,000, not 30,000. We were left stranded without money and had to start calling people to send us funds so we could continue our journey, he said. You can imagine. They collect 30,000 naira. They stop the driver and give the driver 3,000 out of 30,000. What a wicked world. What a wicked country, I would say. Now, the driver, after living there after driving for a few minutes, he stopped and said, Oga, at 3,000 they give you, so you guys have to come down. Probably it is even their colleague, maybe, that did that. So finally, on this, they said, in January, Sahara reporters reported how the Federal High Court in Abuja dismissed an ex parte application filed by the imprisoned leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, seeking his transfer from Sokoto Correctional Facility. Justice James Omotosho dismissed the application after Kanu's lawyer announced his withdrawal from the case. Of course, we know that, in January, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu filed an application to be transferred from Sokoto Correctional Center to Abuja Correctional Center. But James Omotosho said no, that is going to stay there. Kanu's lawyer, Demdo Azan, a senior legal officer with the Legal Aid Council, at the resumed hearing of the application on Tuesday, informed the court of his decision to step aside from the matter, citing irreconcilable differences between him and the applicant. The lawyer, Demdo Azan, of course, I brought the news here sometimes some few weeks ago that, Demdo Azan, the lawyer that was sent by the Legal Aid Council, that was representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, resigned on that day because he was saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has written some things telling him that whatever he wrote is what he's going to be saying in court. So he resigned, and Justice James Omotosho said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to remain in Sokoto facility. Azan told the court that since the last adjourned date, he had maintained regular telephone communication with Kanu's relatives who were expected to visit the Legal Aid Council office to depose to the application. All right, so the lawyer is saying that he has called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's relative to come to his office and so on and so forth. So this is where we draw the curtain for this news. But then I ask you, what these officers did to this 3 young guy, is it good? People that are traveling to go and see a very important person, you stop them, you arrested them, you detained them for hours, you extorted from them, and finally you dump them somewhere. Nigerians, is it good? And that is why I ask, are you sure that it is human beings that are living in Nigeria? Or is there any other mammal living? Is there any other thing that is living that we don't know? Please, I will need your answers. Then I will allow you now to listen to a video that was made by a bishop who visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto Correctional Center. What this bishop said with his mouth. I told you, most of us don't know much about this guy. But then I will advise you, or I will plead with you rather, to please listen to this bishop and hear what he said about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, after visiting him, he came out and said, no. It wasn't what I was thinking. Please listen to him. Then you do well to drop your comment in the comment section what to think. Of course, if this is your first time coming across my video on my channel, please do well to subscribe, because on this channel, I get information of everything that is happening in and outside Nigeria. All right? So please listen to this bishop.
Igbonu is the bishop of the Diocese of Oji River of Enugu State. He has traveled to Sokoto to see Nnamdi Kanu. So what does he report about the condition of detention? What does this mean for Kanu's right to appeal and for a nation on edge? Well, I was joined by the Right Reverend Dr. Ike Igbonu and began by asking him what were your first impressions of Nnamdi Kanu's physical and mental state when he arrived at the Sokoto Custodial Center where he's been kept.
Personality is type, I can say that is rare, because in the midst of that, he's living like a man who is only living above the situation he's into. Though he made mention of his heart condition, I don't know how he's being taken care of in the prison, but in all, I think he's not depressed as I thought, because we went to comfort and encourage him so that he can remain strong, and then also share 1 or 2 things from the gospel with him so that we can also pray together, which we did. So I think if you ask me, he was even advising and encouraging us, telling me to tell the Biafran youths, the Igbo youths, to calm down, and that they shouldn't take any law in their hands, that they should all be in the right frame of mind, that they shouldn't go to start destroying things, that the cause of the law is taking effect. He believed that the judgment was full of injustice, that the appeal court will certainly correct it. He showed me some irregularities in the charges in comparison to the sentences. Some of the things he was sentenced for were the things that happened while he was in DSS custody. So he was asking me, how could I have done these things in the custody of DSS? From him, I discovered that about 3 to 4 unknown gunmen in the East. One of them, according to him, is those imported from outside to destabilize the East so they can tag him with it. Number 2 is one he called economic unknown gunmen, those who are making money from the situation, just leveraging on that to serve people. And the other one, the other guy in Finland, who he said he wrote a letter with his hand to him to let him know that he's not supporting what he's doing.
Now, outside his health condition where he talked to you about, did he express fear or concern about his ability to pursue his appeal, looking at the distance from Abuja and his legal team?
Those were actually main areas of his concern. Apart from that, he was very composed in the prison, but he was raising concern because he was right there talking to the either Controller General or one of the directors of prison that came to Because as we were talking, people were there. Some prison warders were there to monitor what we were saying. The bishop were not discussing. Yes, but I think what the controller came in along the line to let us know that our time has elapsed. I came in about 3 times, and I had him raising an issue that he's supposed to be in Abuja tomorrow to reconcile his record with the high courts before they proceed in filing in the appeal court, without which appeal court cannot hear his case on foot. And he has only 90 days window to pursue this case. So he was not quite happy that no signal has been given to Sokoto to bring him to Abuja on 28th to do that and return back. I also heard when he was requesting to talk to his lawyer over an issue that the lawyer was raising about misunderstanding about some things he wrote in, he gave him to file for him.
He's feeling bad about not being able to speak to his lawyers. But I remember very well that he sacked his lawyers.
No, he didn't sack his lawyers.
But it was everywhere.
No, he didn't sack his lawyers.
So what did he do?
He decided to defend himself in this case and employed the lawyers as consultants to advise him.
That was what he told you?
Yes.
Okay.
So they were still working. Even when I was there, one of the lawyers came in with me, Dr. Barrister, and I landed out Jimako, and Maxwell came a day before I came, and things like that. So the lawyers were still working with him, but they work as consultants with him. When he saw the way the tragedy of the case, he felt, let me defend myself in this one. Because he was saying that the court has no jurisdiction to try him. He raised about 3 points in that, and not the lawyer. He said that there was an addition from Kenya that is abridging already an existing international law, that there will have been a formal process of bringing him down from Kenya. That was not done. He was kidnapped. By that kidnap alone, that the case had been messed up. He also said that the law upon which he was tried in terrorism was a repealed law. In 2013 or so, it was repealed. That the law is no more in existence. So that alone has spoiled the case. And then he also mentioned that the crimes he committed, according to them, he committed them in London. And that case should be tried in London, not in Nigeria. And again, that nobody will have been a terrorist talking. Like something like churches who pray, die. If they say die, and people die, would they say that they are the ones who killed them? If you don't catch anybody in the act with a gun shooting, you also raise an alarm that are people who carry gun around that have not been arrested. I don't want to go into those ones now.
If you say he was supposed to be tried in London, he was brought back to Nigeria and he was tried in the competent court.
That's the point. It was that the court, being competent, has no jurisdiction over the matter. Because of this point he raised. That's why he challenged the jurisdiction. He put a motion for challenging the jurisdiction of the court. And according to him, the court did not pay attention to that motion at all. That according to the court,
somebody who is on trial, do you think it's right for that person to exhibit some certain behaviors while in court?
That is also an issue. From another lawyer who was there, he behaved rudely. But the lawyer said that he understands why he was behaving rudely. There was not given room to tender his final written address, which is a right of every defendant, that the court refused him tendering that. And that is a kind of incriminating him. But that's the only way he can put a defense to every allegation that was levied against him in that place.
By telling the judge, God punish you?
Said, because when he said that was when the judge denied him that final written address. He now knew that this is an injustice. It is not normal with the law court.
Are you in support of Kanu?
I know in support of what he did in the courts, but I also know he's a human being who can overreact. Even Jesus one day became angry and pulled the cane.
Are you supporting him for everything from the beginning to where he is right now?
I did not support some of his actions, but I support his agitation. Because Nigeria is collapsing. You and I know that. And not only Kanu, from Sokoto Street, I discovered that even Hausas in the street of Sokoto, Fulanese, some of them, good ones among them, who are rational enough, are in support of
But do you realize that he actually called for people to be killed?
I don't follow his broadcasts. I am so busy to know whether he said that or not. But I'm telling you, people's feeling. That day he was condemned, or rather sentenced, in the whole of Biafran land, in the whole of Igbo land. I am a bishop, I'm around. It looks like people, it's like a dead, somebody died.
But people were jubilating. We saw all the videos and pictures on social media.
Not in Igbo land. It's like the day.
In the southeast.
No, if I see anybody jubilating, it's political jubilation. I am telling you as a bishop, we are close to the people. It's like somebody died in Igbo land. It's like the hope of the Igbos buried. That is how average young man in Igbo land felt that day.
And as I keep saying, Tinubu is the modern day Afonja in Yoruba land. And he will destroy, because for his sake, the Yoruba race will be in a very serious mess unless they abandon that idiot now. I call him an idiot with every reason in the world. A fool, a certificate forging criminal, a drug pusher in Chicago. Go and do your research on Tinubu. A drug pusher, a kleptomaniac extraordinaire, a thief of unimaginable, a living rogue, a stealing machine. All of you were there during election. Bank bullion van that used to carry money went to his house. All of us said, Jagaban must go. A thief. He's also a murderer. He was instrumental in the slaughter of young Nigerian youths at your so-called Lekki toll gate. Have you all forgotten? Black people.
After I was arrested, I was taken to Abuja. I was confined to a very tiny space. I was chained like a common criminal. I was handcuffed. They tried to break me, but they know that that is impossible. They can attest to it. They mocked me that I will rot in jail. Some prayed very fervently, those who are against Biafra, agents of darkness, that I should die in jail. But the walls of prison and detention couldn't keep me. I told Jibril, or should I say Buhari, before he died and was buried in Saudi Arabia, that he was a madman. I called him a madman in his own court because I know that he cannot do anything about it. Chukwuokike sent me and not man. So there is nothing any human being can do to me or to the wider body of IPOB for that matter. I told